Hola fam, Big Will here, coming in for the second installment of the Blaxit to Panama series. Have further along in the process, coming to you on remote location. We have completed our move out of the house. The house has been sold. The new buyers are already in there and enjoying everything. And we're here in downtown DC at the wharf, transitioning, staying in the hotel until it's time for us to hit Panama. So I thought I would take a few minutes to update my fam on the Blaxit to Panama. So on the last video, I really didn't go into the reasons for Blaxit. So let me fix that error and give you very quickly several reasons for what led us or what helped lead us to our decision to leave the country. Number one, first and foremost, systemic oppression. I'm a 51-year-old black man. Goes without saying that I've experienced what I've experienced in the United States of America, and looking for relief. Just don't want to live my entire life in a system that is designed to cause me to fail. Number two, over policing, which is part of the systemic oppression. I've had way too much contact with police over the years, and it hasn't always been officer friendly. So, and in the United States, we seem to be the only industrialized country that thinks it's okay for the law enforcement to kill citizens, extrajudicially, no trial, and just sick of it. Sick of not seeing any progress to fight that. Another factor, the cost of living in the U.S. So we pay premiums to be Americans. We pay an extraordinarily high cost of living for the privilege of getting, over-policed, undereducated, and a host of all other things. Next on the list would be our COVID response. So COVID was an eye-opener. It made me realize that all of my training, all of my hard work to educate myself, all of the precautions that I take to live in a secure area and surround myself with safety matters not. The only thing that matters is the willingness and/or intelligence of the dumbest person around me. Are they going to follow the rules? Are they going to do what is necessary for the community to thrive? And to be honest, I think the United States of America got a failing grade on that, and still do, as I see now in downtown DC. All intents and purposes, COVID is over here. So I know a lot of that had to do with the former administration, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that Americans are just Americans, especially a certain segment of us that don't like to be told what to do and always want to talk about our freedoms and whatnot. So I need to be someplace where people are going to be communal minded. What's the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. That's wisdom from Mr. Spot. It's certainly something maybe we should try to follow. So COVID response is another reason. And then last on the list, but certainly not least, the prevalence of guns and mass shootings. It's off the hinges. This is the wild, wild west. I can't even remember the stat. I think we're halfway through the year. I think we've had like 300 some odd mass shooting events already. There's 2 or 3 a week. So, schools, churches, malls, movie theaters, government buildings, nothing's safe. So those are things, everything that I just listed, the systemic oppression, over policing, the cost of living, COVID response, and mass shootings are all things that I can take off the table simply by relocating or changing my geography. So that's exactly what the family's going to do. All right, so now let's discuss actual logistics of getting to Panama. How does an American get to Panama? Well, it's pretty simple. You're going to need a visa in order to get into the country, and there's multiple visas. One of the good things about Panama is one of the easiest countries to immigrate to. So uh, let me try to give you examples and some brief details on the most popular methods. I'm not going to go through everything because there's got to be close to 6 or 7 different ways to do this, but I'm just going to cover the top three. Number one, if you're just looking to visit Panama, you just need a passport to leave the country. That's pretty standard fare. As an American citizen with a passport, you're automatically granted a 6-month tourist visa in Panama. No paperwork to sign. Just get on a plane with your passport and go to Panama. Now, we are in COVID. This is the end of June. As of now and currently, uh, one needs a negative COVID PCR test or antigen test, the rapid one. I'm not sure right now which one is the rapid one. Do not get the one where you have to mail and wait for it. Need to get the one where you can get the results emailed to you in 20 minutes. I can't remember if that's antigen or PCR, but whichever the rapid test is, that's what they need. The test needs to be done within 48 hours of your arrival into the country of Panama. So if you're getting there, Friday morning at 8 a.m., your test needs to occur sometime after Wednesday at 8 a.m. Get that done and you can get into the country. So with your passport, you are automatically granted a 6-month tourist visa. Now, at the end of that 6 months, you have to leave Panama and you have to leave on a plane or a boat, but you have to leave to a port. As long as you're gone at least 30 days, you can come back and get another 6 months. So there are people that, do that. They stay for 6 months. They go someplace else for 30 days. They come back for 6 months. They go someplace else for 30 days. They come back for 6 months. If you like to travel, that's a pretty good method. Number two, they have what's called the Friendly Nations Visa. Now, Friendly Nations Visa is still one of the easiest visas on the planet to get as long as you are from one of the friendly nations. It's pretty simple to get the visa. You just have to establish economic ties with Panama. And yes, the U.S. is a friendly nation to Panama. There have been some recent major changes to the Friendly Nations Visa, however, and I believe as of August 5th, the economic ties piece is going to change. So the way it's currently set up, your economic ties only need to be depositing $5,000 into a Panamanian bank account, and you need to incorporate a business. Now, that doesn't mean you need to start a business. They just want you to pay the $1,500 corporation fees to set up a business. But those two things are how you establish economic ties to Panama up until August 5th. After August 5th, the economic tie is going to be one of two things. You can either be hired to work in Panama, and they're going to want to see, a letter stating that this Panamanian company is going to hire you. That's a little difficult to do, honestly, because Panama does a really good job of protecting jobs for Panamanian citizens. So most of the things that Americans would come to Panama with, most of the skills or education or certifications you may have, are going to be in fields that are protected for Panamanian citizens. So getting the Panamanian company to hire you. Now, if you have some unique skill, you're a doctor or an engineer or something, by all means, they're gonna have you come in. Um, that's one way. The second way to establish economic ties is to buy $200,000 worth of property. Note, that does not mean one property. You can buy 3 properties as long as the total value is over 200,000. So the Friendly Nations visa change does make it a little tougher, or a lot tougher for some people. Let me not be subjective, but it makes it tougher for people looking to immigrate into Panama. So just something to consider. The third most popular visa is called the Pensionado visa. or pension. This is a visa that one can get when they have some kind of guaranteed income, such as Social Security benefits or an annuity. If you were injured in an accident and have a huge settlement, that's your guaranteed income. As long as you can show the Panamanian government that you have access to $1,000 a month in guaranteed income, they'll grant you a visa, and that visa is the sweetest visa that they have because it entitles you to 25% discounts for travel, 25% discounts for hotels, shopping, food. Now the discounts vary for some of the other things, but you still get a deep discount. So I would love to get that pensionado visa because 25% off the airfare, whew, that's pretty sweet. Um, so those are the three most popular visas. Now, outside of those visas, there is still a way to establish residency in Panama. It just takes 2 years to go the normal path. Everything that I just talked about are the fast methods. There's still a traditional method that you can do in order to get into Panama. And that is just be in the country for 2 years and, be trouble free. After 2 years of residency in Panama, you can just apply for a permanent residence visa, and they'll do a quick check to make sure your nose is clean, but you'll probably get it. So now during that period of time, remember, you can only stay for 6 months at a time. So you are going to have to leave and then come back, 3 or 4 times in order to do that. But that's the way to slow roll it. So those are the ways to get visas into Panama. One of the things that you're really going to want to do is work with an immigration attorney. This is a foreign country. They have different laws, and you don't know them. You're not going to pick them all up reading the internet either. So you're definitely going to need to hire a good immigration attorney. Ask for referrals. There's websites, there's different groups that offer information for a fee for reputable attorneys. So, but they're available, and you need to contact one in Panama to help you out. The range for an immigration attorney is going to be anywhere from 2,500 to 15,000. Definitely check your sources. Definitely get referrals. We're part of a fantastic Facebook group called Black Expats in Panama. We actually have a business directory located within that book on Facebook. Within that group on Facebook. So that's a wonderful source for referrals. And then when we traveled to Panama, the first video when we were in Panama, we met people in the building who gave us referrals. As a matter of fact, one of the attorneys that we're working with, the attorney that we are working with, was a referral from one of the residents. And so far we're happy. So I'll link her information below so you can give her a call. Like I said, so far we're happy. Now, I can't give you a real referral until we actually get our visa, so take my link with a grain of salt, please, please. I am not endorsing this. I'm just giving you a phone number to call. All right. That's it for that one. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Just like with the United States of America, you actually have to be physically in Panama to begin your visa process. So you can call the immigration attorney for here, but they'll tell you everything that you need to do to get ready, such as getting your FBI background check. That is something that they're going to require from all American citizens. You're going to have to find a service that does fingerprinting and get your fingerprints, and then have that service submit those fingerprints to the FBI to get your complete and comprehensive criminal background check. And that is a nationwide state and federal background check. So you've been arrested, have you done time, they're going to find out, and it's going to be part of the report. So just get ready for that if that's the case for you. Once you get that background check or that report, you'll need to have that report officially apostilled by the Panamanian consulate. That's basically a stamp of approval that tells the people in Panama that this is a legit document and you can go ahead and use this for purposes of reviewing the visa application. Going back to the if you have something on it, having something on your record does not automatically mean you're not going to get into Panama. It just means they're going to ask you some questions and take a look. So they want to know the people who are coming in, just like people in the U.S. want to know who's coming in. So just be ready to deal with that if that comes up. But you need to get that report apostilled once again. So that's one of the steps that we're at right now. We're in D.C. I'm calling the Panamanian consulate to get an appointment to go in there, show them our paperwork, get the stamp, so that when we get to Panama next week, we have everything ready to go. Next steps. So again, we've been through the downsizing. So one of the cool things about Panama and the Caribbean area in general is when you rent or buy property, it usually comes fully furnished. So we just sold a 3-bedroom townhouse, and we're going to a 2-bedroom with den condo. So downsizing, had to shrink things up and had to make some decisions. So, we did our research. We knew that this was coming. And yes, it is cathartic. There is some feeling of joy now that the exercise is over. But going through the exercise, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So the thing that tore me up is I had a classmate prepare or make a really, really, really nice patio cooler in the colors of my alma mater, Morehouse, with our logo on it and everything. And I was trying like a champ to get that thing to Panama. That's something we should talk about real quick. Shipping. So, and through this process, you'll have to decide what to get rid of, what to take with you. So, because on the plane, you're only going to get 4 suitcases and then carry on. Well, I'm sorry, we're a couple. Let me break that up for one person. You're only going to get 2 suitcases plus a carry-on. So that's it. There's no extra bags. You can't pay for extra bags on planes. Everything that's not going to be in those suitcases has to be shipped. And shipping costs a grip. You can ship by ocean. It's going to save you some money. Or you can ship by air. But it's all done by weight. And, it's a pretty penny to get some things there, especially heavy bulk items like furniture. You also need to be aware that, Panama, everything that you ship is going to go through customs. So you have to be able to find a company that can navigate that customs paperwork for you and walk your stuff through customs and then deliver it to you on the other side. Are you going to pick it up at the airport? Are you going to go to Panama City and pick it up at the port? Or do you want the stuff shipped all the way to where you actually live, which is what we're doing? So we had to find door-to-door service to pick our box up here and then get it on a plane, get it through customs. And then after customs, they're going to have DHL pick it up out of the airport and then bring it to us in Coronado. And just to give you a quick example, the box that we're shipping weighs 77 pounds. And it's just a regular large size moving box that you can get at Home Depot or public storage or anything. So we taped it up real well. But 77 pounds. So we got some books, a couple of low-key electronics like Alexa devices, some artwork, just the creature comforts that we couldn't live without, right? My Xbox is in that, 77 pounds. And I believe the charge is like $340, $350. So be ready. One of the options are shipping barrels. There are a lot of companies that will get you a 55-gallon drum and put it on a boat, and you can put as much stuff in that drum as you need. I think it's up to 250 pounds, just one cost for that. It's an excellent way to do it. However, the most known company here in DC that does that is currently not providing service to Panama because Panama's customs during COVID have kind of slowed down their ability to make sure that their boats run on time. So until COVID slows down a little bit in Panama, they're not going to be shipping those barrels. We still may look at that at some point in time in the future because we have a ton of stuff in storage that we want to get down there. So we hope to be able to use the 55-gallon barrel solution soon. I would suggest doing that because it's going to be about the same price from what I gathered. I think it was 270 some odd dollars to get that barrel there. It's ocean freight, so it takes a week or so to get there. But you know, my 77-pound box versus a 200-pound barrel, I could have thrown a whole lot of stuff in that barrel, my golf clubs and all kinds of stuff. So I wanted to come back to rescue my golf club. So just it's the little things. It's little things, but again, compared to what we're about to experience, negligible stuff. Looking at my notes here to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay, so one of the things that we can talk about now at this point, since we've had a couple of going away parties with folks and told family and friends what's going on, is the task of telling your friends and loved ones that you're about to leave and move to another country. For the most part, people were receptive, people were supportive. There's a ton of questions. Get ready for questions, but I think most of the questions are sincere, and people, truly just don't know as much as you probably know about Panama, because you're the one watching these kinds of videos and getting the research. They just know what they hear on the news. So I've been telling my wife it's like the Matrix, just like the Matrix. You have, Neo and his group of people that know what's really going on. That's me and you. We know what's really going on with Panama, but everybody else around us is in the Matrix. And some of those people are going to want to be unplugged from the Matrix, and they'll receive what you have to say about Panama. But some people are going to be like, you know what, this Matrix feels pretty good and comfy. I'm going to fight you to protect the Matrix. And that's happened. I was kind of surprised by a couple of the responses that I got from close family members, but I'm going to chalk it up to them acting out of love, even though it made them act a little crazy. I mean, one of them had to put on timeout. But for the most part, the response has been good and pleasant, and people, have well wishes, and they're curious. They want to know what it's going to be like, and keep them in contact. And I'm like, just keep watching Instagram. You'll see exactly what it's going to be like. So I think that's about it for the second episode. I'll be back on the next episode with some more details about the move and the logistics and getting in Panama and actually setting up your unit. We'll talk about negotiation of long-term leases. We were able to get a fantastic deal on our condo by negotiating an annual lease. Of course, we have to be sure that we're going to be there for those 12 months, and that's something that we've committed to. We definitely want to be there to get a lay of the land and understand a little bit more about Panama. So Coronado is going to be our home base to do that. We're not necessarily saying that we're going to stay in Coronado for the long term, but it's a nice place to start. It's a pretty easy place to drop into. It's like a gated community. It's full of expats from America and Canada and England and France and Germany, and a lot of people there speak English. A lot of the people in the restaurants and grocery stores in that area speak English. So it's a really soft landing for someone like us who this is our first international move. And I don't know if I say first. It's not like I plan on making this a regular thing, but it is a little daunting moving to another country. So if you want a soft landing, I think Coronado is a pretty good choice for it. So I'm going to shut up now, stop rambling. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you learned something from it. If you have any questions, by all means, put them down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We are really looking forward to providing folks with information on Panama. Once we get there, get ready for a lot more exciting videos as we explore Panama. I'm going to bring all the different locations to you, the cities, Bocas del Toro on the Caribbean side. We're going to show you how Panama does Caribbean life. We're on the Pacific side where all the surfers go. We're going to show you Panama City and David and some volcanoes. We'll get to some rainforest and talk to some spider monkeys. So please, please, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any of that stuff. And I'll talk to you later. Ciao.